Set was on his knees, writhing and cursing as white energy encircled him, pulling him towards the rift. "Lost your stomach, witch?" he bellowed. Then he glared at Carter. "You see, Horace? Isis was always a coward. She could never complete the deed." Carter looked at me, and for a moment I saw the doubt on his face. Horace would be urging him towards the bloody vengeance. I was hesitating. This is what had turned Isis and Horace against each other before. I couldn't let it happen now. But more than that, in Carter's wary expression, I saw the way he used to look at me on our visiting days, the way we were practically strangers, forced to spend time together, pretending we were a happy family because Dad expected it of us. I didn't want to go back to that. I wasn't pretending anymore. We were a family and we had to work together. "Carter, look!" I threw the feather of truth into the sky, breaking the spell. "No!" Carter screamed, but the feather exploded into silver dust that clung to the form of the serpent, forcing it to become visible just for an instant. Carter's mouth fell open as the serpent writhed in the air above Washington, slowly losing its power. Next to me a voice screamed, "Wretched gods!" I turned to see Set's minion, Face of Horror, with his fangs bared and his grotesque face only inches from mine, a jagged knife raised above my head. I had only time to think, "I'm dead," before a flash of metal registered in the corner of my eye. There was a sickening thud, and the demon froze. Carter had thrown his sword with deadly accuracy. The demon dropped his knife, fell to his knees, and stared down at the blade that was now sheathed in his side. He crumbled on his back, exhaling with an angry hiss, his black eyes fixed on me, and he spoke in a completely different voice, a rasping, dry sound, like a reptile's belly scraping over the sand. "This is not over, godling. All this I have wrought with a wisp of my own voice, the merest bit of my essence wriggling from my weakened cage. Imagine what I shall do when fully formed." He gave me a ghastly smile, and then his face went slack. A tiny line of red mist curled from his mouth, like a worm or a fresh-hatched snake, and writhed upward into the sky to join its source. The demon's body disintegrated into sand. I looked up once more at the red serpent slowly dissolving in the sky. Then I summoned a good strong wind and dispersed it completely. The Washington Monument stopped glowing, the rift closed, and a little spellbook disappeared from my hand. I moved towards Set, who was still ensnared in ropes of white energy. I'd spoken his true name. He wasn't going anywhere just yet. "You both saw the serpent in the clouds," I said. "Apophis." Carter nodded, stunned. "He was trying to break into the mortal world using the Red Pyramid as a gateway. If its power had been unleashed—" He looked down in revulsion at the pile of sand that had once been a demon. "Set's lieutenant, Face of Horror. He was possessed by Apophis all along, using Set to get what he wanted." "Ridiculous!" Set glared at me and struggled against his bonds. "The snake in the clouds was one of your tricks, Isis. An illusion." "You know it wasn't," I said. "I could have sent you into the abyss, Set, but you saw the real enemy. Apophis was trying to break out of his prison in the Duat. His voice possessed Face of Horror. He was using you." "No one uses me!" Carter let his warrior form disperse. He floated to the ground and summoned his sword back to his hand. "Apophis wanted your explosion to feed his power, Set. As soon as he came through the Duat and found us dead, I'm betting you would have been his first meal. Chaos would have won." "I am Chaos!" Set insisted. "Partially," I said, "but you're still one of the gods. True, you're evil, faithless, ruthless, vile. You make me blush, sister. But you're also the strongest god. In the ancient times you were Ra's faithful lieutenant, defending his boat against Apophis. Ra couldn't have defeated the serpent without you." "I am pretty great," Set admitted, "but Ra is gone forever, thanks to you." "Maybe not forever," I said. "We'll have to find them. Apophis is rising, which means we'll need all the gods to battle him, even you."